Hey everyone! In this video I would like to share with you a very simple system for removing germs from any liquid. The advantage of this design is that it's very easy to implement and requires only early game materials, meaning you can build it the moment you have access to basic automation, liquid reservoirs and pipes. Now the system is composed of mechanized airlocks, liquid reservoirs and a shutoff valve. The mechanized airlock controls the reservoirs. When the airlock is closed, the reservoir will be able to accept liquid in its input and release liquid in its output. When the airlock is open, however, the reservoir will be able to accept liquid in its input, but it won't be able to release it, so it will be stored instead until the airlock is closed. There are two liquid reservoirs, and only one can receive germy liquid at a given time. This is accomplished by the shutoff valve. Also, the entire system is enclosed in a room full of chlorine. This is the key to remove the germs from the liquid. Okay, so let's go and see how this all works out. The process starts by germy liquid entering the right reservoir and begins to fill it up. At this state, the left reservoir is idle and receives no liquid. In addition, the mechanized airlock under the right reservoir is open to prevent the liquid from exiting the reservoir. Finally, at this state, both liquid reservoirs output a green signal in their automation output. When the liquid stored in the right reservoir reaches a certain threshold, its automation signal is changed to red, and two things occur. Number one, the shutoff valve is now disabled, which means germy water is now redirected to the left reservoir. Second, the mechanized airlock under the left reservoir is now open. At this new state, both mechanized airlocks are open. The germy water inside the right liquid reservoir begins to disinfect due to the presence of chlorine. Meanwhile, the left reservoir is being filled up. When the liquid stored in the left reservoir reaches a certain threshold, its automation signal is changed to red. And two things occur. The source of incoming germy water is disabled. In this example, it's the pump. Second, the mechanized airlock under the right reservoir is closed. In this state, the right reservoir allows liquid to exit through the output. The idea here is that the left reservoir serves as a timer for the right reservoir. By the time that the left reservoir reaches its threshold, the germs in the right one should be already dead. This is accomplished by setting a certain thresholds on the reservoirs. In this state, liquid leaves the right reservoir and is piped towards the consumer. The left reservoir is unable to release liquid, and the germy water inside it begins to disinfect. The role of the timer now switches places, where the right reservoir serves as the timer for the left one. When the right reservoir is completely empty, its automation output signal changes to green. This causes the mechanized airlock under the left reservoir to close, enabling it to release its contents as well, and activates the shutoff valve, which redirects liquid to the right reservoir. Just like before, the germs in the left water reservoir should be already dead by the time it releases its liquid. Notice that the pump is still disabled. Finally, when the left reservoir is also empty of liquid, the system reverts to its original state. The pump is enabled and the right reservoir receives a new batch of liquid, and then the cycle repeats itself. This covers the operation of this system. Now let's go over the settings and some keynotes. The threshold on the left reservoir is 0 on low and 30 on high. Those settings should not be changed. The threshold on the right reservoir is 0 on low and 40 on high. It is possible to crank up the high threshold all the way to 100, which means that it will take a long time to charge the system with liquid, but will also allow a long time of continuous flow of liquid at the output. However, the high threshold should never be below 40. So the user has the options to set the system to either fast charge, fast discharge, like right now at 40-30, or long charge, long discharge means 30-100. The next part is very important. The pipe going from the shutoff valve to the left reservoir follows a small loop instead of a direct connection. This is essential and is done on purpose. When the right liquid reservoir outputs red signal and redirects germy liquid to the left reservoir, the mechanized airlock under the left reservoir begins to open, but it takes time for it to do so. If the germy liquid arrives at the reservoir before the door is fully open, some of its content will escape through the output pipes. This loop ensures that the liquid will arrive at the reservoir after the mechanized airlock is fully open. Finally, it's also possible to adapt this system to accept germy water from toilets. To do so, add a liquid reservoir and a liquid shutoff valve next to the water sieve. The reservoir will act as a buffer to store the liquid, and the valve will serve as the pump in this case, controlling the flow of liquid into the system. The automation cable connects to the liquid shutoff valve instead of the pump, like that. And the piping is also now connected between the shutoff valve and the system. And there we go. And that's pretty much it. I hope you will find this design useful. If you have any questions, then feel free to post them in the comments below. And finally, my duplicants will now quickly demonstrate how to build a germ killer from scratch. So for me, thanks for watching and enjoy the clip.